Is 2053 going to be the end of the world? On October 22nd, 2022, a man by the name of Peter Reuter mysteriously appeared claiming to be from the year 2062. He insisted that he needed to stop a woman named Mary Baker from getting on a plane to London, but claims he doesn't know her at all. When questioned further, he simply said that she will cause the spread of a new strain of the virus. The psychiatrist assigned to him, Dr. Knight, doesn't believe him, but gets taken aback when Peter discloses her personal information. That nobody knows. Peter's warnings got eerily morbid, as he says that if he doesn't stop Mary Baker, there will be nothing left by October 23rd, 2053. Even though you can check out the scripted audio series Case 63 starring Julian Moore and Oscar Isaac on Spotify. Many people still wonder if this man is a time traveler. The countdown to October 23rd, 2053 intensifies, leaving humanity with an unsettling uncertainty about its own fate. And it could be.
I would say a lot of shit's gonna pop off before 2030. Because the Great Reset is the agenda. They have a name, like it's an actual agenda. It's called the Great Reset. They want to establish a cashless society, which hasn't happened yet. But it's like almost there. Already cash is pretty non-existent. A lot of people are just tapping their phone to buy coffees now.
You're right.
You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. June 3rd, 2020. The World Economic Forum publishes a video titled The Great Reset. And that very same day, the royal family publishes a video supporting this so-called major global initiative.
We have no alternative because otherwise we will end up having more and more pandemics.
Now, over the coming weeks, multiple videos on the reset were published by the World Economic Forum. And they were starting to get more and more sketchy.
His Excellency Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China.
Major economies should see the world as one community and coordinate the objectives, intensity, and pace of fiscal and monetary policy. And naturally, people started noticing that there was something rather nefarious behind this whole Great Reset initiative. And that begs the question, what are the real intentions behind the reset? Is it simply a failed marketing attempt at an actual genuine initiative? Or is it an attempt to concentrate the power in the hands of a few elitists and establish a new world order, as some are saying? And if so, who is behind this? And why the heck do we even need a reset in the first place? So today, we are investigating the Great Reset. And more importantly, we're doing something that no one else dares to do. We are exposing how the world actually works behind the scenes. And some of you guys may think you know the story, but it goes so much deeper. I have uncovered secret plots to topple the financial system, the real motives behind some of history's biggest crises, and instances of government officials secretly funding their own war enemies while their troops were in the battlefield, and even a secret organization that controls 95% of the world's GDP. So this is the first episode in a 3-part series that has been half a year in the making. And you know, every time I thought I had come to an answer to my questions, a brand new problem would arise, leading to a never-ending rabbit hole that would eventually reveal who runs the world. It reveals the faces of those that hide in the shadows and use their puppets to control everything around us. And I call them the puppet masters. And the reason it took me so long to release this is because I wanted to figure out exactly how you can save yourself from their tyranny. And actually, let me just show you how I started this whole process in the first place.
What's good, world? Let me introduce you to the great world of Tartaria. The technology and the advancements were just awe-inspiring. Where did they go? Why was there need for a great reset?
This is known as the most convincing case of time travel in the history of the world.
There's been a lot.
So they were like, okay, what's her name? They look her up, track her down, they go and talk to her, right? She's in her 70s at this point. She was like, he was my boyfriend in the 50s, and one day he just vanished. He ended up disappearing. He came back 2 years later. He showed her a photo of him as an old man in this city with these giant skyscrapers, and he said, this is me in Kyiv in 2050. So he left, never to be seen again. So they're like, okay, this is weird. So then they start doing more deep diving. Turns out there was a guy named Sergei Ponomarenko in 1950 something who actually vanished, looked just like him, same description, same age that this guy claimed to be, went missing in Kyiv and never heard of again. So then they're like, okay, some crazy stuff is going on. So the cops get him set up in this high-rise hotel, and they're like, you're gonna stay here tonight, we're gonna have guards outside the door, and we're gonna figure everything out in the morning, right? He's like, cool. So they put him in this room. There's surveillance footage, right? They put him in this room, goes to bed. There's guards outside the door the whole night. There's like on the footage, you can see it. The next morning, they come to try to get him. He's gone. He disappears, never to be seen again.
We stand in the shadows of a post-apocalyptic past. A past far more advanced than we've been told. Much of these hillsides we think are nothing more than rock are actually the ruins of advanced civilizations past. Certainly not carved into rock faces with hammer and chisel, as the narrative would have us believe. There has been many resets in this realm, some by flood and some by fire. History is nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon, a set of lies they agreed upon. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
Family, look at this. The Christians, the Muslims, and the Jews before the Great Reset used to live in harmony together, family. And we're not talking about this Great Reset, but the one before it, the Mud Flood family. The one that took down the Tartarian Empire. The Tartarian Empire had all different cultures. Look at this, family. Look, 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 look. Look, from all over the world, family. Again, Tartarian. And again, the Moors, Tartarian. History is teaching us how the Tartarians got wiped out because of a mud flood. When you see windows beneath the ground, you know it was the mud flood. Look, family, in Americas, in South Asia, in Europe. And look, family, right now the same is happening again. Are we being wiped out? Link in bio.
The reason that our captors keep doing these resets like the Tartarian mud flood and the 2030 Great Reset is because eventually we always remember. Fortunately for us, our Book of Life, or DNA, has all the old chapters still written in it, and they don't know how to get those chapters out. What they do instead is genetically modify us so we turn into different beings. We used to be much different than we are today. They also tell us that all of that DNA that stores the ancestors' memories is junk, so we don't look into it. They also put RNA and DNA blockers on the genetic chain, so it turns off a bunch of our DNA. This limits our lifespan, intelligence, melanation, and much more. But like I said, lucky enough for us, we always end up remembering, because all that DNA is still there. And some of us even know how to turn it back on and access those memories. And what happens every now and then is there's a critical mass of remembrance, which then automatically leads to us turning our superpowers back on. It always starts with one person who then electrically activates other people to start remembering as well. They start tapping into these memories and then they start telling other people about it. Meanwhile, that morphogenetic field is being activated to turn all of us back on so we can wake up. Their only answer to this is to wipe out civilization, burn all the books in the library, rewrite history, and throw anyone that disagrees into an insane asylum. This is what happened during the Tartarian mud floods. Although they keep many of the old buildings, and this is our biggest key to understanding what happened in the past. All the churches, state buildings, and banks are a key to understanding those buildings, the technology, and our true human history. Who knows how many times they've reset things since Atlantis? What we have to do is get ahead of their reset and stop them before they hit the button. Therefore, we must all tap into Christ consciousness and bring this secret information to the mainstream so all people can see it all at once.